Hi Scorpio, welcome to your 2016 forecast. And we move into the new year with all of the planets moving direct until the 4th when Mercury goes retrograde. Now, there's a lot to be said about the Mercury retrogrades this year. Will be 4 of them in Earth signs. But this is a very significant year. Every year is significant. But you have Mars going retrograde, which is your ruling planet, from Sagittarius back into Scorpio, your sign. Now Mars in Scorpio, as your ruling planet, Mars in Scorpio is very strong and very powerful. So this can be a year where you can feel like this is my year to come into my power. You don't want to abuse your power. You don't want to, stomp over people to get where you want. But there's that spiritual sense of that spiritual empowerment, using that sense of knowing what you need to do because you know you need to do it, because it's right for you. Now, before we get to the Mars retrograde, let me talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde, because you may think, oh, what's the use of starting off this new year with big plans for my new year if Mercury's just going to go retrograde? Well, the use of it is that this Mercury retrograde cycle is connected to Jupiter-Pluto trine, Jupiter-Pluto square, which all the aspects always go back to the conjunction of the two planets. You hear about new moons, plant your seed on a new moon. Well, all the planets make different conjunctions. So what is significant about the Mercury retrograde cycles is they are caught up in, every time they go direct, which is very powerful. Whenever a planet goes retrograde or direct, it has more power. It's like this beam of energy. That degree of the direct is connected to the Jupiter-Pluto trine, which is about doing something big. The retrograde will be rethinking. Okay, so the main message is, what is the mark that I want to make on the world? What do I want to make sure that I contribute, that I do? And it can be just for you, once in a lifetime trip, or this something that's important for you, that you feel that if you were to die and didn't accomplish it, you would wish you did accomplish it. So what is that for you? And as the Mercury retrograde cycles come, it's about figuring out, well, how can I get a step closer to that? And also, Mercury retrograde, it's something that you can be done that you will want to go back to and do it again during the next retrograde cycle. Which there's a lot of things that we know that we don't want to do all the time, but we want to do more than once. So anything project along that line is good for that. And of course, finishing things up that you started, getting back to something that you've always said that you used to do, but you let it go. Perfect to start the new year with, whatever that can be. So I used to do this, but it's so important to me. Let me get back to it. We have we have a lot of power months, but March is one of them. There is the solar eclipse on March 8th, that Jupiter-Pluto trine that's connected to those Mercury retrogrades. March 16th, the lunar eclipse on March 23rd, so the solstice comes in, lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse for you is the awareness of what you need to put in your daily schedule to activate the bigger parts and to eliminate where you can sabotage your efforts. We have Jupiter square Saturn. Now there's a Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune thing that's weaving in and out for the first 9 months of the year. So we have an exact Jupiter, Saturn square on the 23rd, the day of the lunar eclipse. Pretty powerful. Jupiter, Saturn. For you, it is connected to your financial part aspect. And by the way, Saturn's very powerful because 2 days later it goes retrograde. Remember, whenever a planet's stationed retrograde or direct, it has more power. And Saturn, it's about your financial responsibilities, being and clearing up any money things that need to be cleared up, and getting serious about not letting money get in the way of your aspirations and your dreams. Getting serious about that, doing what needs to be done about that. Then when we move into April, that's when Mars goes retrograde on the 17th. It goes retrograde from Sag, where Saturn is, which is, again, cleaning up anything that needs to be cleaned up financially for yourself, and also connecting with your talents and being willing to develop your own natural resources, your own gifts, connecting with that. It moves back. It's going to be in Scorpio for weeks. It's in Sag for a while, then it's going to shift back into Scorpio. So it teeter-totters between developing your natural gifts, your talents, putting energy into it, cleaning up getting your money in order, just getting it handled so you can, first house, Scorpio, do what you came here to do. The next day after Mars goes retrograde, Pluto goes retrograde, which is your modern ruler. So this power month, empowerment, just think of real strong, it's time to be empowered in my life. April 28th, another Mercury retrograde cycle. And we can move into May 9th, Jupiter moves direct. So this Jupiter direct energy, which is connected to that Saturn Neptune. Do I have the financial resources that I need, that I want? Do the people that I connect with, my friends, maybe you're connected with an organization or a group of people, your associates, are they, do they inspire me? Do we inspire each other? Do we work well together? Or do I feel that they're a burden and they cost me in some way? And how do they help me develop my gifts and my creativity? Some of it may be that no, they don't. And maybe there's some drifting away or some disagreements. And some of them may be, it's like, yeah, these people, when I'm with them, I feel like my muse is turned on, that I'm more inspired, that I can, I'm inspired to develop myself and be more creative and be more connected. And so that energy is an opening up. It also can open up between that March and April time, the heart energy, relationship energy. It's not necessarily, a walk in the park, because there may be a couple of things where you feel a little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to turn out one way. I thought they were a support for me. Now I have to defend myself again. Or feeling as if you have to defend yourself. Be conscious of where you're coming from. June has this continuation between Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter. Having confidence and belief in your dreams and being willing to work hard for that. So for you, it will pull on your own resources, having the money to fulfill your dreams and to work hard towards that, and having the confidence and finding that confidence. Part of that confidence can be is like, if other people did it, I can do it too. What can I learn from others? And all this time, Mars is going retrograde in your sign. And it will impact especially those Scorpios of you who were born the last week when the sun was in Scorpio. It moves direct Mars moves direct at 23 degrees of Scorpio on June 29th. So you can start to feel that things start to move. Really feel that the work that you've been doing, the effort that you've been putting in is beginning to pay off. July 29th, Uranus is going to go retrograde. And that last week in July, first week in August, there may be a bit of adjustment. Well, there is. There's an adjustment energy. Things might happen that you didn't expect. Maybe some plans didn't go the way you expected to. And so you just have to kind of shift and juggle with that. If you're looking for a new job, maybe the job won't be exactly what you expect. But hey, you can adjust to it or adjust your resume to the jobs that are available to be able to get that new job. August 13th, Saturn is moving direct. And that Saturn direct energy, again, is emphasizing taking care of any financial stuff that needs to be taken care of. At the end of August, we have another Mercury retrograde. So that powerhouse of Mercury retrograde between friendships, communications, and other people. So it's people-oriented for you. It's communication and people-oriented. These that will help fulfill that vision, that big thing that you want. On the 1st of September, we have a solar eclipse. And again, it's pushing a vibration of, am I connected with the people that I feel I fit with and I belong with? And if not, what do I want to do about it? Do I connect with my friends? Who are my friends? Maybe I don't need a lot, but the one or two or however many you have, do you feel that connection, that intimacy with them? Whether it's a friend or a lover or both. There's different levels of intimacy. Jupiter goes into Libra on September 9th. So the Jupiter in Libra energy, your time is coming. The following year is going to go into Scorpio. But beginning in this, when Jupiter goes into Libra, it's the beginning of developing once again your intuitive powers, your psychic intuition, spiritual growth, understanding where you can sabotage yourself, developing dreams. Astral projection can be more profound during the next year, starting around September time. And then on the 16th, we have the lunar eclipse. And that 16th, the lunar eclipse, again, is emphasizing balance between your taking care of your health, your daily schedule, and your spiritual health. All of this month, we're in a vibration of the last Saturn-Neptune square. It's exact on the 10th, but the vibration is for the whole month. Saturn-Neptune is being able to make your dreams, Neptune, the vision, Neptune, the ideal, Neptune, into reality, Saturn. So for 9 months, it started in November 2015. The fruition comes in September to see how well we've been dealing with the crisis that might have come up at your birthday in November 2015, or your dreams, and how much you're willing to work towards your dreams and not fall into the despair. To be willing to see, like, maybe all my dreams didn't come through. Maybe the vision that I have, I am disappointed in. It was harder work or just too many obstacles. But not to let that hold you back, for you to be able to figure out, well, what do I need to do? What can I work on? What can I put my effort into? As we move towards your birthday, so through October and end of October, we're moving into your Scorpio birthday. And November 19th, we have Neptune, which is in a water sign, moving direct. You might feel more intuitive November 19th, or more fuzzy. Sometimes Neptune can bring confusion and fuzziness. But the big deal, since Jupiter went into Libra, it will now square Pluto on November 24th. So now we've had this beautiful trine about being able to create the vision. The square is an extra push to, okay, what can I do to be able to have this thing, the big mark that I want to make in the world. And then as we move towards the end of the year, we have the last Mercury retrograde on the 19th of December at 15 degrees of Capricorn, which is where it went direct on the 25th of January at 15 degrees of Capricorn. It goes back, so there's this rethinking energy, again, about the dreams. What is the big thing that I can do, manifest? Who's coming with me? You know, who do I want to come with me? Who are my friends? Who are my, my patriots in a way, that I can develop myself with? And then it retrogrades all the way back to 28 degrees of Sagittarius, which is where the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction started in 2007 at the galactic center, which is a point in our system, solar system, of center. Think about the galactic center, the center of being. So for you personally, the center of being personally, what is my center? We finished the year with Jupiter opposite Uranus, and that's freedom, 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 individuality. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction began 2010, 2011. There was 3 of them. One was at 0 degrees of Aries, a very sensitive, important part, because that's the equinox, vernal equinox for us above the equator. And it's about individual freedom, that every person on the planet deserves to be free to express who they are individually. So it's collectively, how far have we gotten? How good of a job have we gotten? The era of spring began at that time. That collectively, we went through the Pluto-Uranus square, going back to the 1966 Pluto-Uranus conjunction with civil rights. So all of this ties in together. But on an individual level, how well am I doing about being myself and feeling free to be myself? And then Uranus goes direct on the 29th of December. And that, again, will say, okay, what kind of adjustments do I need to make in my life, right? And part of it will be your routine, taking care of your health, and doing the things that you might not necessarily want to do, but you know that they're important to do for the larger picture of your life. Thanks for listening. In order to find me again, please subscribe, because Google it's hard to find me on Google. And if you want to share, please do. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think and what you want to manifest for 2016.